Java devs. Today we're going to look at wrap atlases, and we are going to focus on wrap atlas caching to be specific, which is one of the important aspects of wrap atlases that people might not be aware of, that I want to address today. And so guys, today I have good news for everyone who is actually studying towards obtaining their Java certification. I'm going to be making a series of very short videos for people to study towards their certification so that they don't waste time. I know time is something very important for most of us. So yeah, I'm going to make very short videos for everyone who aspires to be Java certified. So without wasting time, let's get cracking. So as I've said, we're going to look at wrap atlas caching. So let's get cracking. So as you can see here, I have integer I equals to 120, integer I2 equals to 120. If I run this code, I'm sure you will agree with me that this code will result in printing true. Okay, if I let me run, as you can see, true is printed on the console. Okay, let's change this code a little bit. We're gonna have 200 here, then I'm gonna run it again. Wow, this time around it gives us false. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Yeah, this makes us to now talk about caching. So guys, before we even go further, it's important to mention that caching only applies to the following wrap atlases: to byte, to character, to short, to integer, to long. Which one have I left? Oh, they are all. So as you can see, this all corresponds to what we call literals, or what we call, not literal, sorry, integral types. Integral types, those are types without decimal points. So we know integral types: primitive, is byte, char, short, int, and long. So we know that wrap atlases are actually a derivative of all primitive types. Since primitive types are not object, so you're trying to achieve object representation of primitives. That's what we call wrap atlases. So all these wrap atlases, they are cached. So the range of caching is between -128 to +127. And as you can see, this is actually a range of a byte. This is actually a range of a byte. So if you assign your your wrap atlas to any value that is within this range, and you're comparing it to another wrapper that is within this range, those values will be cached. So if I have 127, I have 127 here. We actually have in the heap memory, we actually have, this is a literal, we actually have a cache. So these two are referencing the same object in the heap, because this was actually cached by the memory runtime, and this is done to save memory. That's why when we say we actually get through, and we know that equals is a reference equality. That means it checks whether two objects are referencing the same, it checks whether two references are referencing the same object in the heap. That's why we say this was cached. This was cached. But now if we assign a number bigger than the range that we have here, we lose the benefits of catching. That's why we have false now. That means we have two different objects now because catching was no longer there. So if we can observe the definition of this class, for instance, we can look for catching. We see that it actually has a static inner class called integer catching, which actually deals with catching those numbers. And I can tell you that the lower catch value is 128 and the higher catch value is 127 here. So you can see the maximum. So any number that is not within this range, as we have specified here, will not be cached. So the same goes to if I say integer dot value of, and then I give it 90. I can tell you that, I give it, and then we have 90 here. This method value of will actually interrogate the catch. You see, we want to check whether the number is greater than the low catch, which is minus 127, and less than the high one, which is minus 128, which is 127. And if it's within that range, then we return what's in the catch. And as you can remember, this catch is an array, as was specified here. That's why we actually want to return the same object. So if we run this code, it should actually print true as well. But if we change it, we give a number outside the range of the catch, then we lose that benefit of catching. Then we get a false. So all these wrapper classes are cached, but for this float and double, we do not have caching for those two. So guys, this is what I wanted to say about catching for wrapper classes. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video tutorial.